Hi everybody, back with Manifestation Monday. I have missed you very much. I've been on a little bit of a hiatus the last probably month. I had the launch and then I went to Mexico. Then there was a memorial for my dad on last Monday. So lots of Mondays have been filled with other things. But here we are back with Manifestation Monday, and I'm really excited to chat with you about the topic for today, which is being delirious. This is how you get whatever you want. This is how manifestation works. This is how you hack reality, create what it is, whatever that you desire. And I'm going to break that down today. I would say I'm delirious pretty much most of the time. And shout out to my niece, Samantha. She's gone through school to be a psych nurse, and she was staying with me for a little bit, working at, or kind of doing her shadow thing, I don't know, whatever it is, practicum at a psych ward somewhere around this area. And she was telling me some stories of some of the people that were in there and what they were saying and the kind of self-talk they had. And I was like, if I'm not careful, if the wrong person hears me throughout the day, I might end up in one of these psych wards, because it sounded very similar to the way I talk to myself and what I do and how I shift how I feel in order to create my reality. So make sure you say hi, comment, wave, give me some love or whatever on the lives. Again, for whatever reason, I don't see the comments on Facebook. I usually can't see them till after. If anybody has a explanation of why that's happening to me, please tell me. So, manifestation, all it is creation. And the only time that you are creating is right now, in this now moment. You don't create in the future, you don't create in the past. It all happens in this moment. And the way that we create is through vibration. It's the signal that we're sending out. What is vibration? Vibration, everything. The law of vibration states that everything vibrates. We live in an ocean of motion. When you zoom into everything, it's made up of atoms, which are protons, neutrons, electrons, which is energy, vibrating around at different speeds and rates. It appears very solid to us. It's just consolidated. It's condensed energy, but it's vibration, it's frequency. It's vibrating so quickly it has this feeling of being solid. When we understand that everything is vibration, everything is created and is existing as energy, that energy is malleable. It's not as fixed as what you think it is. We really get very stuck in this physical realm, and therefore we get very limited, because if you only focus on what's right in front of you, as in this cup is here and this is all that is, and this can't be changed or shifted, and this is only what is real and true and what exists, then you get stuck in this plane. You get stuck in what you've already experienced. And what happens is, when we're very fixated on this 3D, on this physical realm, on this physical tangible stuff all around us, including the way our body currently is, the way our bank account currently looks, the kind of relationships we're currently experiencing, kind of life that we're living, any of that kind of stuff, when you're fixated on that as reality, as truth, then you continually create that over and over again, because that is what you're feeling and experiencing, and therefore that's the frequency that you are vibrating on, that's what you're in harmony with, and then you just perpetuate the same thing over and over again. So it's like this loop. It's like a circle. It's like a cycle that keeps happening. It's like I look at my bank account, there's $10,000 in there, so I feel like poor or whatever, and I'm feeling limited, I don't have enough money to live the life I want to live. You're feeling those things, therefore that's your frequency and your vibration. That's the signal you're sending out. Feeling is the word we invented to describe the conscious awareness of the vibration that we are in. So I feel limited, therefore that's the frequency, that's the signal, therefore law of attraction is always at work, and then we are perpetuating it, we are creating it more and more again in our life. We're attracting circumstances, people, we're self-sabotaging ourselves, we've got our thermostat, our money mindset is, or set point is at, my bank account has $10,000 in it. So we have to break the cycle of feeling what we're seeing right in front of us, and therefore continuing to create it. And that's where being delirious comes in. This, a lot of people get hung up on this because they're a realist or they're very logical, or it's just like, this is happening in the world, it's real, so therefore how can I have to pay attention to it, I have to engage it, I have to be mad about it or frustrated about it. And it's right there, it's on the news, or I'm seeing it outside my window, or whatever it is for you, you're very attached to it. And when it comes to shifting what your experience and your creation is in this lifetime, in this matrix, in this world of yours, you're gonna have to let go of that. You're gonna have to let go of being so fixated and tied and attached to what you're seeing with your physical eyes, what you hear with your ears, and what you touch with your hands. Because you need to shift how you feel. You need to shift the vibration, the signals that you're sending out, in order for your reality to shift. So when I say being delirious, what I'm talking about is you actually begin pretending, for lack of a better word. It's not what it is, but it's the best way to describe this transition to you. So you begin pretending to be and have what it is that you desire. That could look like saying your affirmations in the sense of like, I am wealthy, I am successful, I love my life, I am attracting all the clients, whatever business you're in, all the clients, all the sales, all the money, everything that I need to get to where I want. I'm so lucky, everything works out for my highest good. I leave everybody that I come in contact with the impression of increase. There's a waiting list to work with me. I have more work than I'm able to keep up with. Like, you talk this way. You could be flat broke and nobody knows who you are and nobody wants your stuff, but you speak in the way and you talk and you tap into the feeling of having what it is that you want. So I'm always upping this for myself. So when I was starting to figure this out, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was frumpy and in my gym clothes all day, didn't do hair, makeup, no jewelry, nothing, was making, I don't know, $10,000 a year as a freelance graphic designer. I began to work through this, and it didn't happen overnight. I was figuring this stuff out as I go, but I would start speaking and talking to myself as if I had this life that I have now. So I'm not telling you to do something I haven't done. I now have the life that I spoke of 3-4 years ago. And I spoke it into existence. I felt it into existence. And now I speak I speak more things. I expand more. Who do I want to be next? What do I want to create? What do I want to experience? I would go around the house, even though I was making $10,000 a year, saying like, I'm wealthy, I'm successful. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. And I would talk about these things I feel as I was sweeping the floor, as I was changing my kid's diaper, as I was doing whatever, as I was driving my car. I'd get into the energy and feel like, oh, I'm so successful. Look at me driving my car around the city. I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. When people would ask me back then, when I was hardly making any money and I was starting off in my businesses and doing different things, and they'd be like, how's that business going? Because everybody's trying to like see that you fail. They don't want you to succeed because then they feel shitty that they're not succeeding. They're looking for you to fail, especially when you're starting out. So what would I do? Would I say, actually, I'm really struggling. I'm not making any sales. I want to quit every day. I feel like a failure. Things aren't working. I just lost a bunch of money on this deal that I tried to do. I hired someone and they were terrible. No, I didn't say any of that stuff, even though that would have appeared as my current reality. I said, you know what? Things are going great. I am learning so much. I'm growing. I'm expanding. I met this cool person and I made these really neat connections. And, this book has like opened my eyes, and I would speak and put my attention on what was good about it, what made me feel good, what made me feel successful and powerful. And I had to fake it for a while. I had to pretend and be delirious. The thing is, time doesn't exist in the linear way that we think it does. Everything is all happening right now, and there is multiple timelines. You can have, every time you make a decision, there's options of these different timelines, and you can shift onto the one you want just like that. There's the timeline of your life where you're struggling, you don't have what you want, you're broke, you don't have the partner that you want, you're overweight, all is sick, diseased, all this kind of thing. There's a timeline where you're healthy, wealthy, successful, happy, peaceful, joyful, free. In this moment right now, you can shift onto a timeline of what it is that you desire. All this reality out here, all this world that seems so real is just a reflection of what's going on within yourself vibrationally. The more you understand this, the more you realize this, the more you dig into this information. Please dig into this information and understand it, because you get so powerful and unfuckwithable and like amazing and like magnetic, and you get whatever you want. You can create whatever life you want, and you can be deliriously happy. And the more of us that are happy, the more we raise the vibration of the world, and the more people get happy, and the more peaceful and wonderful this planet gets. So it's not just a selfish thing, it's also contributing to the betterment of humankind, as a little side note. But the more you understand this, the more you realize this out there is all an illusion, and you are in complete control of your experience in this lifetime. So be delirious. Read a little bit on quantum physics. If you're very scientifically, logically minded, that will help you kind of start to break through and realize, wow, all this stuff is very malleable. The way quantum physics explains it is like there's potential of all these different realities, and depending what you put your attention on, what you focus on, will then appear and is what you will experience. And we can talk about this all day long, but this is something more that I go in depth with my clients, and we meet weekly, and we dive into some of these concepts to deepen understanding and to detach from the physical, the matrix, and understand that it's not so real and so fixed as you might think. In fact, it is very much not that way. So as you go throughout your day, first off, you got to decide what life do you want to live? We're in a movie, what character do you want to play? That's, step one. What do you want? And that step alone could be I know for a lot of people is a struggle, because you're very programmed to believe that you can't have what you want, that you are limited, and that there's only so much money to go around, and there's only, if you're gonna be wealthy, there's all these consequences, and you have to suffer and struggle and everything. So you got a whole lot of baggage that you believe is true, that even you have to move through to just say, I want this. So simple in concept, but people really struggle with just to be able to say, I want to be successful. I want to run a business as a fitness instructor. I want to live in Mexico and work from my laptop. I want to make $20,000 or more a month. Like things like this. It's like I can't even say it, because what if it doesn't come true, or what if it's not real, and you believe so strongly that it's not possible for you. So even just to get through that, some people need a lot of help. I can help you with that. Just come to me and we can work together, and I can help you get even just that first step. Then once you make the decision, I want to be this, then you play the part. What does an actor do? Is Jim Carrey actually the Grinch when he's like, is he actually that being? Does he have to be the Grinch in order to perform as the Grinch? No. These actors, they do a character study. They understand the character. They get to know the way the character thinks, how they move, their style, their body movements, how they speak, all this kind of stuff. And then they play the part. That's like, how do I say, like a mirage of what's actually how it works. Is it a mirage? It's like a glimpse of how it actually works. I don't know how to say it, but it's giving you an example of how you do life, how you create. For you, in this reality, what do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What do you want to experience? How much money do you want to make? What kind of partner do you want? Where do you want to live? How do you want to be perceived by others? All these kinds of things. You decide it, make the decision, and then play the part. Be delirious. Step into the character. Step into the role. Embody the energy of that person. And then what you're going to see is you might feel for the first little bit that you are crazy, or that you feel like you're an imposter or whatever. But what will happen over time is you create yourself into this person. And the more you act and the more you are delirious that this is your reality, the more it actually embeds into your DNA, so to speak, and you actually begin experiencing it. So this might, if it's about money, you start being like, I'm wealthy, I'm successful. You can dress. Think about how the version of you that has what you want, how do they dress? What does their hair look like? Do they do their makeup if you're a woman or a man? What are the activities of their day? How do they spend their time? Get to really know it and then do those things. And if one question that people have, well, like, how can I spend money like a millionaire if I'm only making $2,000 a month? For the first while, what I will say is don't overspend, because you haven't mastered vibration yet. And what is going to happen to you is you'll overspend, you'll go into debt, and you don't have the deep understanding of how money works and how it's energy and how you always have what you need, and you don't have to actually worry about money. And then you'll go into fear and stress. It's going to trigger those things in you, and then you'll create more issues with money. So until you really understand how money works and you are a master of your vibration, still don't outspend your means. Still do things in a way that you can feel abundant by taking advantage of little opportunities. For example, you go through the checkout, they ask you, do you want to donate $1 to the children's charity? And you say yes. And you say, yes, I have so much abundance in my life, so much money, I'm able to donate to this children's charity, and I'm able to give, and I do it, love it, I'm so happy to give, and it feels so good to me. When you pay your bills, you're just like, wow, I'm so rich that I can put money and have electricity and running water, and you take the opportunity with the things in your life to feel into the energy of abundance and wealth, even if you're not living in a $10 million mansion. So these are the ways you do it. These are the way you play with your vibration and the feeling in order to get onto the frequency of having what you want, so that you can attract that into your life. As you feel abundant, you attract more and more and more abundance into your life. If it's about, you want to be Casanova, you want to be the person who gets all the ladies, or vice versa, the woman that gets the men, and you want to play that part, well, then you start embodying that energy. I am magnetic. I'm so sexy. Everybody that sees me desires me. I am handsome. I am beautiful. Whatever it is for you. And he's obsessed with me. He can't stop thinking about me. Any man that I decide I want, I get. You just are delirious. And you could be, haven't had a date in 2 years, living alone with 10 cats. Doesn't matter. You're switching timelines. You're choosing what you want, and then you create it. You be delirious. And this is how we do it, people. This is how it works. This is how manifestation works. This is how you create. Look at people who are very successful. Did they start that way? No, they did not. They were living on someone's couch. They were broke. They were in their van. They were doing whatever they were doing. You have to create yourself into the person you desire to be. Just get really in tune with who that person is, and then study them. Study that version of yourself that has everything you want. Body the energy now. Be delirious. Claim it over your life. I don't care what your current reality is. You have to stop the loop of creating the same thing over and over again. Use your imagination to feel into this energy. Trust me. This is what I do. This is how I do it. I have very interesting conversations with myself. You would be amazed at what goes on inside my head. This is visioning. This is imagination. This is what we do. And so I encourage you to do this for yourself and really tap into creating this reality. Okay, I'm seeing all your comments now. Hi, Jane. Hey, Kyle. Tim, Saran. Good to see you all. Tim says, you're blowing my mind in the best way. Wonderful. So happy to do that. And I've got a couple of compliments on my necklace. I bought it when I was in Mexico. I was drunk shopping. And I got this necklace. I also got this snake ring and some leopard print pants. It was a lot of fun. And nice seeing all you guys. See everybody jumping on. I love it. I hope you're having the most amazing Monday so far. Continue to create this into the best week. Shift into a timeline where you love your life, where you are the luckiest person on the face of this planet, where everything works out for your highest good, where everybody loves to be around you. You're magnetic, you're handsome, you're sexy, you're wonderful, you're on top of the world, you're powerful, you're a divine creator, you're all the things. You get to choose. Stop believing anything else. Stop falling for the narrative that there's disease and limitation and all that kind of stuff. That's the illusion. Remember what's real. And that is that you are abundant, you are free, you are healthy, you're powerful, you're joyful, you're peaceful, all of those things. So I love you guys. Hey, Mark. Oh, Mark. Long time no see. And make sure, just let it all go and just be happy. Allow yourself to be happy. You deserve it. It's your birthright. If you can desire it, you can create it. You have your desires for a reason. Desires aren't bad. They are your thing that's driving you to grow and to learn and to expand, and in order to achieve and experience those desires. Don't ever, ever, ever doubt that you can have anything and everything that you want. It's all within your ability. You came here to this earth school to learn how to manipulate energy and create whatever it is that you desire. So if you're seeing this video, if this kind of stuff is coming into your reality, you've attracted this to help you understand and go to that next level in order to create whatever it is that you desire. So follow this information, go deeper, read the books, take the suggestions, go back, watch other videos that I've done, other people who teach on manifestation, as long as they're teaching it right. And pass this on to other people, share this video, help other people get happy. All right, guys, we shall see you next Monday for the next manifestation chat. And make sure you reach out if you have questions or there's certain topics you want me to explain more, you're curious about, you just gotta let me know. And I will make sure to touch on those in the future. Bye, everyone.